That's not. I don't know what that is. That part is. Thank you. Let me see. Let me set this up here. Cause I'm trying to catch this time before this game come on. And the screen ain't coming up. Sound test. Sound check. Sound check. Welcome in to another SR51 Media MiniCast. I am your host, Salt Aries. There's a new Switch in town. Now, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks. I just want to say as a warning ahead of time, it is basically rush hour traffic where I am. So you might hear a little bit of the background. If it gets to be too much with like ambulance and emergency services and stuff like that, I'll just mute it for the second. But for the everyday passing car, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So, as I was saying, there's a new Switch that's come out, and I'm going to be reading this directly from, 1 second. There's a new Switch. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks. Just wanted to mute the background there. I don't think I muted on that one, but I will be muting it for a lot of vehicles. So I'm going to be reading this directly from IGN's article. I feel that it's best to get it from, a reputable source, so we're all getting information that's updated and we can trust. So one of the main things that's sticking out is they're saying this new Nintendo Switch model, and here's some things you need to know. So it's going to be a Nintendo Switch with an OLED model. The release date is October 8th for $349.99, and they say while pre-orders are not live yet, they are still expected to go live soon. Best Buy and GameStop currently have Nintendo Switch OLED model listings live, but pre-orders are not available just yet. So, taken away from this article, and also they go into the Ethernet cord. You know how you plug an Ethernet cord into your Xbox and PlayStation. They talk about the Ethernet cord that you can plug into the base of the Nintendo Switch now. And they also talk about the kickstand, which is wider, and specs. There was one thing in here. Specs, they had a spec list at the bottom. So the battery is 4.5 through 9 hours. Screen size is OLED 7-inch screen, 1280 by 720. Storage is 64 gigabytes. TV output up to 1080p via HDMI in TV mode. USB connector, USB-C, and CPU GPU is NVIDIA custom Tegra processor. So where this puts me, because I don't want to take specifically too much from IGN, just basically if anyone on the internet was reading their article and had a reaction to it, and the Nintendo Switch trailer that came out earlier. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. My opinion is that what I was saying earlier, if Nintendo was going to release a Nintendo Switch, and in a way, if I'm not mistaken, you can go back and listen to previous streams, but I said something along the lines of, we at SR51 Media stated it was going to come out before November, because what you have to understand about retail is typically after October and the middle parts of October, you get to a point where that's the end. You see what I'm saying? Now it's like, okay, we have to start stocking the shelves for the things that are going to be on sale on Black Friday, the things that are going to be on sale for Thanksgiving in general, and we got to prepare for the Christmas holiday. So what's on shelves is expected to sell out, not the things that are going to sit there day after day, right? And also you have to take into account, too, that Nintendo kind of knew what they were doing while, one second. Yep, heard the chopper coming. Um, so what you have to take into account too is that Nintendo kind of knew where they were going. Okay, now what gives me a glimmer of hope that this may be bigger than what we're seeing right now is that it has an NVIDIA Tegra custom chip. Now that custom chip could do a lot of things that the previous models can't. One thing that I'm hoping a rumor holds true with this is that Madden is going to release on the Switch, because that would be great as it stands. Now, to keep this in a small wrapped up package, some of the things I wanted to get across was, as a Nintendo Switch owner, we are excited for this release. This is exactly some of the stuff we wanted: bigger size, better screen. The kickstand, to be honest, the kickstand never really held up the system because it was on the left side, and when you popped it out, your memory card was exposed. So, it didn't really sit in the middle flush of the system. And hopefully this new release with these new chips and things like that can basically give us a whole nother set of games, put us in a situation where basically now, because you have a better chipset, you get a whole different set of games, not just from Nintendo, but it could also come from Xbox too. Because if they had the Outer Worlds 1, the question I would wonder is, are they going to have Outer Worlds 2? Because I heard that there's production on Outer Worlds 2 going on. That was something we had noticed in the news part of things. So basically, I wanted to get this information out to you. I wanted you to know that there's a new Switch on the way. Now, what I'm understanding about this is, from what we were stating earlier, so we can keep kind of a timeline, is last time I stated that if there was going to be a Nintendo Switch release, it was going to be before November, so that way they could restock for Black Friday, Thanksgiving, and things like that, right? Let me grab a vape pen. So basically, we have a release date of October 8th. Now, with a release date of October 8th, pre-orders, right, for pre-ordering the system, pre-orders for ordering the system as it stands, to me, has, and I called my local GameStop. I know everybody that saw this trailer called their local GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, all these places, and we all got the same answer: that right now pre-orders is not available, and they don't really know when they're going to get them, right? So it's one of those, you have to stay connected to the deals. You have to stay connected to places like us at Star 51 Media, where if we find out about it, we would definitely tell you about it. It doesn't make sense for me to hide the information from somebody on the internet when you probably don't even live in the same state as me and things like that. So keeping each other informed of what the next system is, and where it is something great to do inside the gaming community, and we do that. As it stands right now, I haven't heard of anybody taking pre-orders for this. They said it's $349. I don't know how much they're going to give you as a trade-in. Most Nintendo Switch owners like myself would look to give you the base model Switch, which is now the base model Switch. We would look to give you that one to go for the OLED, because there's no sense, because you have to give up the dock and the system and all that to go to the next OLED. So it makes no sense to have two of the same sizes when you're going to probably play the 7-inch OLED more. So we don't right now know specs of who's providing the OLED, the chipsets. None of this has really been, I shouldn't say the chipsets, what the chip is going to do. I think myself, there still is a chance, just saying, I think it still is a chance for us to catch up to it as regular retail people, because of the fact that it's coming before November. So right now, with it being July, August, September, right, October, you still have 4 months. So what they could do is they could release pre-orders in the next couple of weeks and just take pre-orders until they basically run out of pre-orders, like they'll take the original, let's say, I don't know, a couple hundred that a store gets, and then after they run out, you basically would be not at the mercy of scalpers, but you would have to look to your fellow gamer and your fellow electronic store outlets to find somewhere where you can find it. So what I'm trying to do is catch it on a day one release. I wanted day one to have it in my hands, and I'm willing, with my job, I'm kind of flexible where I can kind of get to a store if it's available. So everybody's going to be on the hunt for this. And then also this changes the outlook for the holidays as well. We're going to be talking about that because, hold on. Trying to protect your ears from that loud noise. So the thing of it is, this changes the outlook. Oh, excuse me. The screen went dim. This changes the outlook. This changes the outlook for the Christmas holiday, because the Christmas holiday at one point was, what we were talking about was going to be the Xbox Series S and X and the PlayStation 5. Now you're in a situation where Nintendo has released their new console, and their new console is sounding like it looks better and is more powerful than their previous console, and it's at a very less less costing rate. The only thing that stacks up to that is something like the Xbox Series S and probably the PlayStation 5 digital. Those to me have been more of an attractive option, just because of the fact that it's closer to what I pay for a Nintendo. I think that there's a difference between graphics and graphics I don't need. So, that's a different time for a different show. But this is all the information we have so far that's been given to us. We're going to stay on top of something like this and make sure that basically we're here, and we wanted to get something out today so you could basically understand how we feel about it. Do we think it's a bad thing or a good thing, just so we're clear about it. We do think it's a good thing. What we said earlier was we figured that Nintendo would release something before Black Friday, because you're not going to release something in basically October. You're not going to release something in October that basically you would want to be on the Christmas shelves. You want to release something around this time, midsummer, where people can, or pre-order it. And if they didn't get the pre-orders, they're looking for every shipment that comes out to order it online, and they'll run into their local store. It creates a buzz for Nintendo and Xbox, because Xbox, if you don't know, Xbox just released Xbox xCloud to iOS for MacBooks, iPads, and iPhones. So a lot of us have been playing Xbox outside of our normal consoles. So things are different, and there's a lot of news to be covered, but this was the main topic I wanted to get to today. I don't want to keep you in here too long. I want to thank you for listening. Once again, this has been the SR51 Media Minicast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the support you give the channel. If you could give it a like and a subscribe if you're new here. Also check out www.sr51media.com. That's our official brand website, where you can learn more about us and more of what we're about. We just edited a little bit today. Oh, really? I want to say yesterday. And yeah, that's all I really have for you today. So have a good rest of your day. Peace.